Hey guys, we're here with my boy Griffin again. You just finished top 4 at the OTS Championship. You're invited to NAWCQ. Congrats with Mermail. So, yeah, I guess what are your thoughts now post the Rage of the Abyss? It's been a few weeks now.
I still think the deck is really good. It can push a lot harder than people think it can going second, which is one of the really nice things about it. Going first, uninterrupted, it builds boards that people like cannot beat, even through a couple of hand traps sometimes. So I think that it's a nice deck because it's got a lot of skill expression, so I feel like I'm able to play well, navigate some interactions. It's also got some particularly broken cards in it that I think really help, so it was nice to continue to play it, and people still haven't learned exactly how to interact with it, which I think is still a pretty big boon.
Awesome, let's get to us then.
Sure, so I haven't changed too much, but I've mostly just cut down on cards that are a little bit less consistent or don't do anything in your hand, just try and make the deck as consistent as possible, and I didn't really have any games today where I bricked, other than one where I opened 5 hand traps, but I was still able to win that because I had 5 hand traps. So it was like an okay kind of brick. So starting with like key consistency cards, Neptibus, again, this is the heart and soul of the deck. This card is absolutely phenomenal. One of the really nice things about Neptibus, if you don't know, is that it sends to graveyard for cost as an ignition effect. So that means that you can send, like, half of the effect of Neptibus is resolving anyways, because you want to send these Atlanteans to the graveyard to trigger their effect, so you get a Dragoon Search or a Squad Special from deck. So Prince is absolutely phenomenal. He just does so much, and the deck would be very bad if Diva was your normal summon instead. Then following that up is 3 Dragoons. Dragoons is a non-once per turn search for any Sea Serpent, so you can use this throughout the course of the combo to search 4 or 5 times to continue fueling your discards. It's an absolutely broken card, but it's old, so that's why. 3 Squad. Squad is phenomenal. It's one of the strongest extenders. It's like the best choke point, really, if you have like an Ash or an Impulse to hit that, because it specials any Atlantean or Mermail from the deck that's level 4 or lower, which really pushes through your plays. It also can level modulate, which is super strong, and it can make really impactful boards because of that. So I think that it's a super strong card. Yeah, so Squad's great. Atlantean the Abyss, Abyss Shrine the Atlantean Spirit is a great card. Its main function in this deck, since I've changed the list a little bit, I've stopped playing Gund, is to either get a free body, discard in Teus, trigger Prince in the process for the standard combo. If you do get hand trapped once or twice, or you get drolled specifically, Shrine, if you open it, is phenomenal, or if you searched it early before you get drolled, can help you get Coelacanth out, and Coelacanth is just cracked. I cannot believe people don't play this card. It pushes so much harder than the pure version can, so I definitely won today because I got drolled and I was still able to make double toad. So I just think that it's necessary to play 3 of, so you can see this as often as possible. Then I'm playing 3 Teus. So Teus is a little bit worse in my list since I've taken out Gund. However, it's still a non-once per turn to summon. It searches bodies. This can be a starter in a way by searching Squad if you have another way of discarding. The level 7 is very relevant for the deck. And sometimes you need it to start your plays by discarding your Dragoons or Squad when you open it. I would not play less than 3 Teus. I still think it's a great extender. Sometimes a starter, but it's a pretty good card. It also makes full combo with Shrine, because you can Teus, pitch a card, search Shrine, pitch the Teus, summon Coelacanth, discard a card, and summon out your bodies and make 2 toads. So if you're like super stuck, Teus still makes a decent board on his own. Then for my, I guess we'll go to Coelacanth now. So I'm playing the 1 Coelacanth, and my fish targets are 2 Abyss Pike and 1 Harpooner. So Harpooner's an addition to the deck because I'm not playing Armor Shark, because I've never really liked that package to search, but Harpooner is 400 attack, which is super relevant, because when you summon out all these fish names, if these are the only line of play you have, because Abyss Shrine is 1600 attack, you can't reborn it off Anemone, but Harpooner you can after you make your first Abyss or a Bahamut Shark to make your first Toad, so then you can link off and then make a second Toad. So it's really relevant that it's a level 4 water with 400 attack. It does have an effect that comes up in the hand where you can, unfortunately it's not cost, discard either itself or another water monster, and then summon the other one. That didn't come up at all today because I never opened this card, but it's really nice to be able to only have to play 3 fish names and still make the double Toad. I'll just move these off to the side here. I'm playing, as my 1-ofs, I'm playing the 1 Megalo, the 1 Moulin Glacia, the 1 Heavy Infantry, and the 1 Diva. So because I'm not playing Armored Shark, or I'm not playing gunned, heavy infantry is now super mandatory for the main combo, just because it sets up the exact same board. You just special summon it back with Poseidra, then you make Virtue Dragon adds back Dragoons, and you use the additional normal from the heavy infantry to summon the Dragoons, and then the equip spell, the Reborn Pike, and then another Dragoon or a Pike, and then you can make a Dweller or a second toad. Diva's just a little extra consistency piece. I didn't open it very many times today, so it's hard to say if I would keep playing it, but really it's like Prince is so strong that Diva just feels good because it's just more copies of Prince. You'd be surprised how often people do let this resolve, and I was testing online. Not let it resolve, but when they don't open hand traps, it's just another copy of Prince. Megalo, I'm a little bit back and forth on. I love Megalo. I have a really hard time cutting him because I'm so nostalgic for the deck. He's not quite as strong, but sometimes you really do need a Sea Serpent that you can search to continue your plays, and Megalo fits that bill exactly. And then Molten Glacia is absolutely bonkers. Discard 2 for free, and as a free body that you don't even have to worry about his drawback with the combo. It's just so good. I can't see why you wouldn't play it. I know sometimes it can be a bit of a brick, but it's too good not to play. And then the last in-engine sort of monster I'm playing is the 3 Minstrel. Some people are playing this at 1. I do not understand how you have come to this conclusion. Sure, it feels bad to open 2, but sure, just discard the other one and then normal Prince. Like, looking in your opponent's hand and taking out interaction is so strong. Obviously, it's not always full combo, but like, hand knowledge is good, because even if you get stopped, if you can look at your opponent's hand and then you can verify if they even have playable and then pass on non-engine, it's so good. Like, I just don't understand how people don't want to play this. Decided down to 2 going second as a combo piece, but it's just so strong. You should just be playing it. I 3. I just feel really strongly about that. Then for searchable sort of combo pieces is the Abyss Sting. This helps set up full board, and sometimes when you open it, if you like normal summon a Prince going second and they like SP it, or not SP, that's a bad example, but like Princess pop it, you can like reborn the Prince, or like get a second normal summon by summoning another Prince from your hand to keep playing. In Virtue Stream I'm playing because my combo is currently going into Virtue Dragon, or the Virtue Dragon, so I might as well be playing it. It's pretty good. It's the best thing I think my deck does under Shifter, so I might as well be playing it. And then 2 last consistency spells is 1 for 1, just another copy of Prince. I think you should be playing that. And Pot of Prosperity, which did come in really, really important today. In the last match of the OTS that I played, I had a really weak hand and no playables, but I Pot of Prosperity for 6. I found a Prince and I was able to play. So I would recommend it just as more consistent. That's what this deck struggles with, so finding places to find consistency is best. For non-engine, I am playing 12. I'm playing 3 Fool Loss, 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Impulse, and 3 Imperm. Oh, I guess, and the 1 Call By. Call By is great. I think you should be playing it. You lose to Droll Shifter, Fool Loss, so you might as well, if you play this so that you lose to those less. These are the other 12 engines that non-engines that I think are really, really strong in the game. I think they're probably the best to be main decking, personally. If I could fit Feruli in, I might, but I've struggled to want to boost the deck count up. So off to my extra deck. I'm playing the 1 Zelantis, which I will continue to say comes up almost never, but when it does come up, it is phenomenal. I took 5 monsters off the board today and didn't let them come back, and I was able to win because of it, so Zelantis is kind of nice for that. The 1 Mermail King, this is just a phenomenal card. Targeting protection, searching the Abyss spell for an extender. I really like him. He's really good on the M board. He keeps your toads protected. The 1 Alacia, which doesn't come up as much, I'm finding, but I still like it. Sometimes you can just make it, and it's a pesky monster that's sometimes very difficult for your opponent to get through, and it can help you trigger heavy infantry on your opponent's turn to destroy a card multiple times after you toad at it back. So I continue to play. We're kind of starving for good Roger Link monsters, so this one's, it's okay. Anemone is great. I've never really needed to, a couple times I do need to, but I can also do other things, so it hasn't really come up that I would want to add a second one. The card is very good though, it's really mandatory for the combo. And then the 1 Abyss Keeper, which didn't come up today, I'm playing this because if you can put 2 bodies on the board, you can summon Coelacanth from your hand. And I had a little bit of extra deck space, and Coelacanth is like the only 1 true brick, but being able to get it out of your hand for free, it's really, really nice. And sometimes its removal effect comes up, but pretty rarely, but if I have the space, I think Abyss Keeper is good. On to my XYZs, I'm playing the 1 Poseidra and the 1 Abyssgaios. This is honestly a pretty good card, but this is the really, really broken card. But you need this to summon this easier. Poseidra is absolutely phenomenal, and so is Gaios. I'm really excited for the new stuff that comes out in January. It's another rank 7 that's pretty good. I'm playing 2 Shark and 2 Toad. Part of the combo, double Toad is really, really strong, so you might as well. I'm playing the 1 Dweller, which I summoned so many times today, and it was busting. I was playing against Chimera, I was playing against Fire King, I just Drytron, I just made a Dweller and they can't play. It's very strong. So you can just substitute one Toad for the Dweller, and its attack boost was relevant to actually getting me game today. So you have the space, so it's one of the strongest rank 4 waters, so you should play it. Kragan was for Shifter and for time, and it never came up. I didn't go to time. My games were all pretty fast today, but I would continue to play it if I have a little bit of space. The one Virtue Dragon for the combo. Sometimes this comes up outside of your standard combo where you can add stuff back. It's pretty nice. And then the one Trish, which I only summoned once today, but it was really strong when I did. The deck does have a little bit of wiggle room when you're not playing 2 Gaios, 2 Poseidra, which I've cut down on because I'm not as scared of Cashier or Unicorn. But I still think Trish is really good for those situations. And then lastly, my sideboard, which I'm honestly pretty satisfied with today. I was playing 3 Perulia just for the matchups that it's good, and I was often siding this in going second. I was also playing 3 Droll. Droll just feels really, really strong in this format. I've been watching a lot of like replays and stuff, and I'm watching my friends play, and Droll just feels like it turn ends so frequently. So obviously it conflicts with the Mulcharmies, but I'd rather just stop my opponent completely with Droll than let them play a little bit with the Chummy, but the Chummy is still really, really good, so I would continue to play all 6. My back row hate is 2 Cosmic and 1 Marksman. I didn't really play any back row decks today, so I didn't side the Marksman in. But functionally, my theory was that it's basically 3 Cosmic Cyclones. Obviously, it doesn't banish, and it only destroys set cards, but it's much more accessible. So I would continue to play the Marksman. I just think it's a nice little in-engine thing. Marksman's cool. I was playing 3 Talents. I sided these in relatively frequently, so I have a couple going first cards, but they're not always relevant to the matchup. So I wanted to have cards that could flex in going first and second in matchups where the rest of the sideboard didn't feel super strong. So these were really nice. I don't think I need to play 3 in the future. I seldom sided in 3, but it was nice to have a little bit of wiggle room in the side deck. I do miss Game of Steel. I would like to figure out if I could put that back in. And then my last going first cards are Anti-Spell Fragrance, Gozen Match, and Abyssgale the Mizuchi. These cards are broken. We're only water. And Mizuchi is the board breaker, so I would almost always side this in going first just so I don't get like Super Polyed or Dark Ruler. But yeah, ultimately I was really happy with the sideboard. I was really happy with the deck overall today. It was I'm glad I was able to refine it a little bit more, but it's been great.
Awesome. So. Well, congrats again on your invite. Any last shout-outs?
This time I would still like to shout out my boy Justin for testing with me. He is my king. He's over there. He's grinding. And then James, obviously, for letting me on the channel. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.